thanks for joining me again. Well, today I was thinking about different ways to explain magic to you and explain how I jump between very different styles of magic, but still it makes sense to me. It's all interconnected in just my head. So today I took some notes on how I actually jump between all of these styles of magic and how I believe all these styles of magic are interconnected. Okay, so to explain this to you, I called this the 3 systems of magical manifestation. I'm unpacking my thoughts about what are the main headings, if you like, when it comes to magic, and what falls under those headings, and how does one become successful by applying that magical method. And so the first method or first heading is really about consciousness. And these days we're looking at different methods such as, well, the law of attraction, right? Really taking ownership of your thoughts. And if you believe that you're already living in that moment and you have whatever you desire, then that will basically set the intention, and you will have that. That's what you're going to get. But the key is there. The magical key is that you think it, but you're thinking that you already have it. So that's very important. I'll just leave that there right now. The second heading is on energy, right? And all the different magical styles that fall under doing magic to raise energy to achieve results. And some of those methods are Wicca, right? Wicca, we raise up our energy and set the intention out there, and then we push out that intention, right? But we're taking action. We take action on our thought through the energy and our emotion. I think that's the key. That's the difference between the first and the second, is the emotion, right? With the law of attraction, you're not as emotional as if you need to raise up your energy. Now, if you're only doing manifestation through the law of attraction or secret, you're not going to know what I'm talking about right now. So things like sigil magic, where you're raising up the energy, right? You're getting into state. You're really charged and emotional. Wicca, some of the rituals there, when you're getting into state and you're charging whatever you're doing, you're raising the energy, you're putting it in motion, and then you're releasing. It's extremely powerful. Kundalini yoga, oh my gosh, that's probably the top of the tree in many aspects, but many regards. But once again, you're using that energy to set that desire into play. What else did I put here? I put the key is the emotional state is the fuel of the spell. So with the consciousness theory, it's the thought that's the fuel of the spell. With the emotional state, right, it is the emotion, with the energy state, it's the emotions that are the fuel. Okay, and the third model for practicing magic is the spiritual model. So under the spiritual model of practicing magic, you have lots of different styles, such as ceremonial magic. You have hoodoo, Santorini, voodoo, a lot of black magic, if you like. What else have I got here? Necromancy. All of those systems where you're contacting gods, angels, demons, ancestors, saints. You're contacting someone from the other side, whether it's the human dead or a spiritual dead or a deity, whatever it is, but there is a request from a spiritual being for whatever you want to happen, right? Now, that can happen in energy as well, right? If you're in Wicca, or even with sigil, you might be requesting that your deity come down and help you in that state, or you might evoke a deity, you as such as the a lot of the Wiccan rituals. So that's where that all it starts to all blend in, right? Depending on which magical system you're following. The main difference is about the emotional state. If you're following just the law of attraction and you're feeling very comfortable just into having a thought manifest in the here and now, and you're not putting actions in place to bring about your desire, I'd be happy if you got whatever you wanted, but I think it really sets people up to be disappointed, because if you're living in a state of being, for example, you want a Ferrari, right? You want a red Ferrari. You really, really, really want a red Ferrari. So what you do is you believe that you already have a red Ferrari. And so instead of actually working hard for that red Ferrari or setting up a whole series of goals so you can work towards it, you just believe that you have it, that it's in the garage, and if you take your keys off the bench and you walk into the garage, that there's going to be a red Ferrari. And wow, like when I'm a clinical psychologist, I see people and we give medication for that level of thought. Okay. So it's healthy to have desires, but what energy are you putting into manifesting that desire? Okay. So that would be energy from doing a spell around Wicca, sigil magic, whatever you want to do in that space. Or do you want to go and contact a spirit of some sort and get them on the case for you? So you're going to have more luck if you put energy into it, and you're definitely going to have more luck if you have a relationship with somebody not from this plane, right? Because there's different planes, not from this plane, who's going to help you achieve your goal. Now, let me go back and explain why manifestation does work. So if you, for example, with, I'll call out Blonde Gypsy, when I was back in Australia a few months ago, I'm sure her sister-in-law won't watch this, so I can just talk about it. But her sister-in-law had some challenges around conceiving. And so we worked together, her and I, on some wonderful spells about manifesting this child into this world, and for this child to have good health, and for the mother to be healthy, and all things like that. And after we set that very powerful spell into action, her job, her task was to sit by that candle and do candle magic. Very similar, I mean, it's a Wicca spell as well, but very similar to what we do in hoodoo as well. But basically feeding that candle and setting the intention to the candle, and she worked with her deity as well, and making sure that happened. And I'm pleased to announce that her sister-in-law the baby is very well, and due to be born pretty soon. So send your love and blessings towards her and her baby, if just in thought. So it can, believing that something can happen and hoping for it, but setting it into action is very, very different than just thinking, well, the baby's going to be fine. The baby is fine and will be born absolutely fine, because that's not true. That's not true. Now, there's a lot of hard science behind magic. More hard science than what you would actually think. Quantum physics has actually proved magic works. I've spoken before about the rice experiment, for example, where the power of words and energy on the rice that is in a jar and water is just covering the rice, the power of intention of words onto that water, remember water is energy, right? And the putting that energy into that water can change just words. can change the actual physical structure of the rice. So you don't have to be a witch, a warlock, or a occultist to make that happen, right? That is just the power of words. That is raw energy in manifestation. This is why the law of attraction needs something else in order to achieve results. This is when Wicca can step in and start to bridge the gaps. Sigil magic can bridge the gaps. Ceremonial magic definitely starts to bridge the gaps. Black magic bridges gaps. Voodoo bridges the gaps, because what you're doing is you're actually setting the intention with the energy and you're putting it passionately into the universe or to spirit or wherever it goes. So I hope that's made sense to you. I hope I haven't confused things even more. Let me know if it actually made sense. I'd love to help pull or tease things out for you a little bit more. But for me personally, it's not being stuck to one genre of magic is very enlightening. It doesn't mean I have to hold the archetype of a black witch. I don't always have to be black. I'm not always cursing people. I'm not always damning people and just sitting by myself in a house doing wicked things, right? I'm pretty out there, right? I can get out there with people from all different walks of life doing all sorts of things and feel perfectly comfortable. I feel comfortable around people that are of different religions. I feel it because I understand how this all works and how they're all sort of connected, and why some people are getting results and why some people aren't, why I sometimes get results, why I sometimes don't get results, right? So once again, I'll finish it up here, but I hope this has helped you and your understanding of magical principles. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.